hinges on one final series. FaZe Clan, G2, with the rest of the group in the palm of their hands.
Time for talk is over. It's time to get on the field and show you what you got. Game 1, G2 FaZe. This has been something that has been developing. FaZe Clan already striking hot. First killer with the first goal.
The old adage goes, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But when you can start off 8 seconds in, you give yourself one heck of a shot. G2 now has to answer an immediate shot from FaZe Clan.
It's about how you start. Did FaZe Clan come out with the fire? They're looking to do so right now. Oh, Chicago though with the demo on first killer. FaZe Clan has this team. Everybody, when they step up, they look like this unbeatable machine. G2, when they play that play style that everyone knows, it's just so signature to them. It works, but this time, FaZe Clan making a statement. First killer with the demo, and typical with the second goal.
Yeah, sometimes you can overstate the importance of body language and all of that stuff, but FaZe Clan physically looks different at this LAN. We've seen them in the past, and it's almost like they're waiting for things to go wrong. Not now. They're taking every opportunity by the horns. Typical going after Atomic there. Couldn't get a piece of him, so it's brought back in. And Chicago out to the wing, where it's dumped right back in by first killer. And FaZe Clan continue the assault on the G2 half the field. It's missed up the ladder. Chicago off to the side. All he can do is watch as it comes harmlessly to ground, and Atomic takes over.
It's been a slow start for G2, no offense just yet. First minute's gone by, and the game has been all FaZe. But what's going to happen once G2 start getting going? You've seen Chicago's been able to get some demos out, but look, when FaZe are on the attack, G2, they sit on that back wall, just let them move forward. You cannot give the guys on FaZe Clan space like that. They'll take advantage of it.
Atomic comes up empty there, so Chicago will pop it back in. It's missed. With nothing but blue cars ahead of him. Easy stop for the G2 defense. Can they turn it into offense? JNaps on his own out of the corner. Not a whole lot of support. Atomic lurking behind the play. Now Mist will bring it across. He avoids his former teammate Atomic. And Chicago all he can do is delay the inevitable. FaZe Clan right back on the G2 half the field, and more opportunities for FaZe until this one gets by. JNaps trying to create indirect, and it's saved away right at the post.
And who got the save? It was Mist, of course. What a stop there. FaZe Clan hold on to the 2-goal lead. They're looking for 3 too as Mist leads the charge. This gets put to the back wall. Atomic will try to get it to Chicago.
Chicago's got options, gonna call his own number, and he's met by a brick wall in front. Now JNaps again, past first killer, difficult to clear. Out to first, hard to the backboard, and it's almost off the bar, down and away. Unlucky break for FaZe, one of very few so far.
It's been hard for G2 to get set up, and then when they're running away from that counterattack, it just looks so deadly. Almost another chance there. That's a great clear out by JNaps, but it gets hit right back in. FaZe Clan not trying to give ground for free.
Typical got chased out of the zone, so now JNaps will go to work. Still trailing by 2, and it feels like so much has happened in this game. There's still 2 minutes left. First killer had it taken away, but there's nobody across the way, so now it's missed right at JNaps. Good drop off for Atomic, but again, well defended by FaZe. Look, there's no secret between these two squads. They're so familiar with each other, neither is going to surprise the other.
It's about adjustments, making those adaptations. You can see G2, they've been able to kind of stop the bleeding here, but still, only 1 shot recorded from them. They've been slowly gaining ground, gaining possession. JNaps will finally put a second shot on for G2. So again, they're starting to show some life of offense. FaZe has slowed down here. If G2 can get going with time on the clock, they can bring themselves back into this game.
Just takes 1 strike to get a kickoff to tie. It's Chicago. Plenty in the tank. Down to 30 and going after heads, not finding any. First killer blocked by Atomic, but there is missed again. starting so many counterattacks. It's what FaZe has been lacking. A reliable defender so that First Killer doesn't have to camp out at the net to start every attack downfield. It's blocked here by Mist, and First Killer can stay at the back now with his team leading by 2 and 40 seconds left.
Here's this simple, just playing it close to the ball. JNAP's with a chance, gets the flick high, First Killer's there. Is it gonna be a follow-up? Atomic on the ball, shot, it's in! Atomic strikes, G2 within 1.
Got back within 1 with typical. Going for the squishy save, didn't have the read. Of course, Atomic had everything to shoot at. 34 seconds remain. Life for G2.
G2 gotta lock in here. Good kickoff for them. They gotta go back though. First Killer gonna send that towards Chicago. First Killer trying to pick it up again, playing this high. But no follow-up. JNAPS gets a demo on Mist as well, slowing things down. They're trying to get a calculated push here in the final seconds.
Got to get this ball away from Mist first, and they have done that. So step 1 complete, but they didn't keep possession. So now JNAPS can't afford to panic, but they don't have any time now. 7 seconds. Not a lot of boost. It's Chicago taking his time. Could not get by First Killer, who will bring this towards the ground, but not quite. G2, desperation stations now. Chicago's got it. JNAPS couldn't get the flip reset, and FaZe Clan hangs on.
You can see the fight though in G2. Down to the last second, still trying to make a push. They looked for the late surge. FaZe Clan started off hot. Great pressure from them, but towards the end of things, we start to see a little bit of a slowdown. You start to see G2 take control. Now they got time to kind of talk things over. We're expecting that game 2 adjustment out of G2. It wasn't necessarily them being outplayed this entire game, but the first 2 minutes, I mean, that was just all FaZe Clan, and FaZe Clan able to weather the storm over the course of the 4 minutes.
While G2 did finish well, it was indeed how you started this time. But that first goal out of First Killer, FaZe Clan just set the tone very early on. They score 8 seconds into this game, and they hang on for the dub. Of course, that's why you score 2. So when you give up 1 at the end, it does not matter. And now FaZe Clan, what this result means, of course, very little in terms of the whole series. We need a winner before we know who is through in Group A. If FaZe Clan wins this match, Crew advance into the round of 12. G1 would be sent out from the major. G1 hoping that G2 can come through for them here as we go to Forbidden Temple.
Where is the adjustment going to happen on the side of G2? Who is going to step up? It's Atomic on the ball. Didn't get a flip, so that will go towards First Killer. Plays it smartly, gonna send this over to Mist. Mist gets it past 1, does pick up that Hunter boost. Trying to play this low and look for a bump. Can't get any, but FaZe Clan do get that space out. Things starting off here with that FaZe possession. As they are looking around for each other. Pass here, Sip is trying to get it back to First Killer. JNAPS with the read to catch things out. Mist with a lot of time, has a flip. JNAPS had a good read on the ball. Mist trying to rotate out. FaZe Clan. I love this possession that we're seeing from them early on. They're able to just kind of take that control, get that consistent offense without giving up too much ground.
Well, Chicago trying to get the attack rolling for G2, looking for their first lead in this series. At least they've improved on last game, right? They didn't concede a goal in the first minute. First Killer looking to dominate the second minute. That's deflected away though immediately. And for G2, more defense.
First Killer goes up and plays that one off the side wall. Here's Atomic. Gonna push it back into the FaZe half. G2 a little bit spread out here. JNAPS, great speed to get to the ball first. Now into the corner. FK, well, he got kind of baited out by the fake challenge. Gave it to JNAPS. JNAPS able to take that and move upfield. But G2 still trying to get just some consistent space. That miss from Typical might prove worthy of something, but First Killer able to pick up the ball. Chicago, 50's out as well. G2 are not giving this one up easily.
Wonder now if FaZe Clan has to maybe rethink some things. This one goes around the boards, blocked away by Mist. That's been the big problem, I think, for G2. Sure, you can maybe get by Typical, you might even get by First Killer. But Mist has kind of been the final boss defensively on every team he's been on. And if you can't get past him, you've got no shot of actually making any headway offensively. And he's been a stout defender again here for FaZe Clan. He's done it all throughout this tournament. Maybe you could argue a little bit of a lapse against G1 yesterday, but now this sets up Typical, and FaZe Clan scores in the second half.
Love this here from Mist. He's able to break the one. It's the 50. Plays it low, and there's a little bit of space. Typical just puts the shot high. Chicago with the backflip, and now G2. The clock is ticking. Halfway through game 2, they're down by 1.
Yet again, it was Mist who they couldn't get by in their own offense or defensive end. This is bombed away. It caught a deflection off of G2, so Atomic's got to go to his own backboard. Hope that nobody's there. Somebody was, and First Killer again hit the corner of the frame.
J-Nab, gonna stay on top of this one. Let's play over to the sidewall. Look at that, so early from Typical, but just not enough. Chicago had a great read. We've been seeing the ball played off to the sidewall. We haven't seen G2 necessarily pass the ball around towards each other. And the demos kind of worked out either. That one was a close one, but still, ball gets into the midfield. FaZe trying to work a counterattack in.
Good stop by Mist. He'll dump this back into the G2 zone, and they have to go right back to square one if they want to find an equalizer with 1:35 to go. Blocked out by Chicago. And Typical doing a good job getting that back to Mist. Good back pass. Mist off the backboard for Typical and a 2-goal lead.
Sip's starting to strike, and that could be a huge problem if G2 don't get that under control. Sets up a lane, and J-Nab's no way to stop that one. FaZe really showing their strength here. G2 unable to get on the board scoring-wise. This is a problem.
Oh, wow. Mist stayed with that, too, and he almost sprung Typical downfield for another kickoff goal. This thrown in front for Atomic and cleared away. It's First Killer. First Killer looking for somebody to pass to, not finding anyone, so now FaZe has to scramble back. They have that 2-goal cushion, and it remains 2 as that's swept out to the wing. Brought back in by Chicago with a minute to go, but still not a whole lot of offense brewing now for G2 with that clear from First.
That one off the ceiling. Chicago trying to get there. You see J-Nab's a little late, so he has to pre-jump. G2 need to come out of this, but again, we're talking about another late surge for G2 if they want to get back into a game. FaZe has been able to control the space very well. As time ticks down, you really got to wonder, as G2 have taken 5 shots this game, First Killer takes 1 to throw them off, and FaZe on that offensive push just looks so much more threatening.
Trying to get onto the all highlight reel was First Killer. Would have been an exclamation point on a brilliant performance out of FaZe Clan in game 2. First Killer looking for more as he brings this to the back wall. Only 13 seconds remain, and G2 shows no signs of getting out of their zone. Chicago got bumped. That forced Atomic into action, and now they're only at 5 seconds. Got to score with 1 on the clock, and they will not. FaZe Clan slams shut the door, and they're 1 win away from topping the group.
Wow, consistent effort from FaZe Clan, pushing G2, demanding more from them. And they aren't getting it back in return, so they say, okay, we'll just take game after game until you start to show up here. Trying to win the group. They started this group stage off slow, and now they're starting to show again why they were the #1 seed in North America. 1 game away from a sweep here.
Fans have been waiting for this matchup all day, the all North American battle right at the top of Group A with so much on the line for Crew and for G1. As we look back at the Mobile One high performance replay, this one from Typical pretty much put it on ice. First Killer nearly added a flashy goal as well, but in the end, more crooked numbers than not on the side of FaZe Clan and much smaller numbers on the side of G2 as they have just not been afforded the usual comfort they've become accustomed to against the rest of North America.
That's credit to FaZe though. FaZe's game plan, FaZe's their play style where they are able to share the ball more. It's not a one-man show here. And also their ability to just play just good Rocket League to be able to kind of control that pace, to get in front of G2. Anytime G2 moves upfield, you got either typical or missed getting in the way. First killer might go for a solo play to throw off G2. But there's still a game to go. Maybe G2 can turn things around. DFH Stadium, as game 3 has already been underway.
And a near miss out of FaZe Clan, and boy, look, it's difficult. Go to work. I mean, how good has he been this season with all the roster rumors and such for FaZe Clan and wondering just where this team would go. They've stuck with Typical and it's paid off, but here's Atomic up high. Now JNaps, wide and no follow.
Keep an eye out for JNaps this series. If he can really start get going in the scoring department, it could spell trouble for FaZe Clan. So far, scoreless. We saw some adjustments from G2, especially in the middle of game 2, them just kind of getting back into that form. And even though they were scoreless, it really didn't seem like they were starting to kind of get their pattern figured out. Here's Typical on the ball, looking for a bump. Does get it, but Chicago's there. Chicago gonna just take that slow 50, but it doesn't work out. Atomic's needed, gets a big touch. G2 under pressure, but JNaps eliminating it for the time being. Typical, oh my God, FaZe almost came up with a great play. G2 now moving upfield.
G2 could have had a numbers advantage, but nobody could go after Mist. He was the only one back, and nobody was even in the same zip code. Now JNaps gonna restart for G2. Still scoreless here in a game they must win to have a shot at topping the group and going directly into the top 8. Otherwise, a first-round matchup awaits. Chicago now, taking his time through the corner, picked his spot, and still first killer unfazed. Now it's Atomic, looking to drop one down in front. Nobody there. Typical sweeps it away.
These two are still working. See it. Those passes and transitions, they're getting really close, but sometimes close isn't good enough. So far, both teams tied in the shot department, trying to get 2 apiece, and it feels like G2 has definitely had more ball control as the game's gone on.
And it's a rare case that G2 has had all this offensive pressure that goes off the post. They haven't valued their possessions, though. A missed opportunity there for FaZe, and maybe G2 can capitalize. No, it's coming right back in. Drop down to first killer and saved away. What a save by Chicago.
I mean, what a great read on that as well. Just being able to recognize no one's gonna have this touch. You gotta watch out for this shot. Great effort from Chicago to keep us scoreless here. You can feel the kind of tension building in DFH.
Just over 2 minutes for G2 to just get any kind of offense going, lest we go to overtime. You know they'd love to take care of it in regulation. It'll be Chicago for Atomic with their first lead. They've got it.
How do you stop a shot that's like a laser? I love this. Chicago sees Atomic downfield and he puts everything behind it. First killer did his best job trying to make the save, but it just wasn't good enough. That one was going through the back of the net no matter what.
1-0 to G2, but not for long. First killer answers back, and after all this time trying to get a lead in this series, whoop, there it goes.
I can hear Johnny Boy right now.
Which way did he turn?
What is going on there? G2 finally getting the lead, getting on the board. Just for that to happen? Oh my goodness, 2 minutes left. G2 gotta get it together.
Well, so anyways, how are we all doing? We're back to a tied up game. Like those last 2 goals never happened. And we'll wait for G2 to find another answer. They might have just done here, but first killer back for the save, and everybody else follows in kind.
Atomic.
Atomic will give way to JNaps, go to the ground, and again, well defended. If it's anybody other than Mist, maybe he gets it by.
Atomic on the ball, trying to line up the flip. Typical recognized it. Chicago thought he was putting it up to the sidewall. JNaps needed there, but first killer's been all over G2 on the press. A little awkward here. Chance for Atomic. Can he get it past first killer? Tries to take it low. Missed there to bail him out.
They deserve to get scored on there. Look at where all 3 cars were. They were all together on the side.
After the pre-jump.
And now still can't convert. And now watch out, Atomic's got to get back and avoid contact. He's being chased. The ball's being chased by Typical. And Atomic does just enough to hang that up in the corner. And he'll get the touch there before he gets obliterated, and JNAP takes over. Here comes FaZe Clan again, trying to overwhelm G2 and put the finishing touches on a sweep to close out what has been maybe the most anticipated match of the day.
JNAP, he's been getting up into the air very early. He's getting a couple pre-jumps from him. He gets to Chicago! Top left slot for G2!
When you need a clutch shot, how often has G2 gone to read Chicago? Unbelievable. 2-1 now for G2. Maybe the most resilient team in the event. They may be about to do it again.
First killer keeping this one, trying to take it to the side. FaZe, seeing if they can play from behind for once. We're gonna look for something late here as we approach the final seconds.
20, down to 17 now. FaZe again on the attack. Big clear from JNAP's only as far as first killer. Opportunity for FaZe, it'll be reset by Typical. Launch it on target, easily stopped by Chicago. Final countdown here. Chicago and G2 try to play keep away, and Waterfall's down in front. And G2 will extend our show at least one more game.
We were waiting for him to wake up. Welcome to the series, G2. It's good to see you. You saw those goals from Atomic and Chicago. Very well placed. The team play from there. Chicago with 100% goal participation. And a strong effort on all parties. JNAP's with the most saves that game. That was the G2 everyone was expecting going into it. Now, FaZe Clan, they've got to try to figure out how to battle back against that, because once G2 get going and once everybody finally is able to get onto the board, I mean, the real series begins.
You saw a moment ago some very interested parties. Crew and their fans hoping that FaZe could finish the job. Instead, their agony is prolonged just a little bit longer. And G1 and their fans have some life now with G2 keeping them alive. Remember, again, the result of this series determines everything in Group A. If FaZe Clan does eventually close it out, Crew goes into the playoffs, G1's eliminated, vice versa if G2 happens to come back and pull off the reverse sweep. And it would be just like them, a team that's had a flair for the dramatic, even here at this major, to do exactly that. On to Utopia now for game 4.
JNAP's on the ball. He's trying to play it low. Blocked away by Miss. And G2, show us something great and force that game 5. First kill's gonna try to end it here. He gets the flip reset. Trying to look for that top right corner, but it's sent to JNAP. He's gonna play that. That's gonna play back into the midfield. JNAP's to Atomic. Atomic is gonna get it into the open net. G2 passed it through and strike first.
Yo, we talk about Atomic for his passing, but this time it's JNAP with the beautiful split pass. And Atomic will roll it home to an open net. And G2 has the ball rolling on the right side now. Starting to gain a lot more momentum as they look to pull off the reverse sweep.
FaZe Clan this series are used to dealing the damage. This time, they've got to play from behind. You see again, hints there, a couple of passing plays, but G2 well informed of that, and they're making the correct adjustments.
So now how does FaZe Clan answer where all the momentum is starting to slip away? First killer looking for more, flip reset to set it up in Chicago. Make sure that pass didn't get anywhere near its intended mark. Who's gonna take charge now for G2? It's JNAP trying to bring that to the corner. Mist was all over him. Now it's first killer, all by his lonesome, almost forced it through. Denied right at the post by Atomic. Now Chicago trying to weave through traffic, and he could not connect with JNAP.
Big demo on the play, but Atomic is on the ball. Does he have the flip? Used it against first killer, so he'll send the ball to the corner. First killer's moving downfield looking for Chicago, setting up Typical for the shot! Bang! Typical with the equalizer!
They're sending a man downfield, all eyes on first killer. The problem is, Typical had the ball, and he ties it up. 3.5 to go, and the tension continues to build. And not just the teams in Group A interested in this result. Of course, all the teams impacted by who would play who based on how the match plays out.
First, oh my
Bang! First killer!
He's incredible! The fire first killer! One touch, look at that double! You gotta put a hand up! You can't give him that for free!
What was it, 13 seconds between goals? Here comes FaZe Clan again, and another strong kickoff. This one intercepted by Chicago and missed right at JNaps. Neutral 50. It goes to first killer. Worst case scenario, flip reset, and he lost it.
Oh my goodness, first kill starting to get cooking.
Oh my gosh.
A little awkward here. But there's 3 minutes remaining. G2 still looking composed. Oh, except for that whiff from JNaps. He's trying to play a phase touch. Now it'll go the other way. JNaps, strong clear to send that across to Atomic. He's got the boost. What's he gonna do? Use the musty, lot of power. Chance here for JNaps. No! It won't fall. Chance here though. Empty space. Chicago trying to slot it in. The first killer is there in time. And now FaZe are gonna try to hit him with a counter.
G2 are gonna be kicking themselves for not converting. It's difficult. Dropped it wide. Now follow up though from Mist. This will rain down and cleared out towards first killer. Nobody out to meet him. Now JNaps has to come on and just got that one through. That's well recovered by G2, who again need to win this to keep their hopes alive of taking the top spot in the group, going directly to the top 8. Here goes Typical, flip reset, couldn't do much with it. Now first killer all the way back to Mist, and a very responsible defensive play there from FaZe, just playing keep away from G2, trying to frustrate them and maybe make them panic a bit.
Right, and then of course they're controlling the ball well, not afraid to back pass. They understand they have that lead, and they want to also try to pull G2 out, see if they can force a mistake out of them. Minute 44, G2 in the midfield, looking to control the play.
It does have to creep into the back of their minds, right? How many more chances are you gonna get? Especially how many more chances of that quality?
7 shots. They're looking to see if 8 will be the one that goes in here. That one will be denied by Typical. Free ball though in the midfield. Atomic's able to get that off the back wall. Follow up from Atomic. Oh, it's blocked away. JNaps can't get it past either. Mist is a brick wall here, trying to shut things down. FaZe trying to hold on. First killer, no! That'll go away too. And now G2 trying to move things upfield.
I worried that Typical might have got caught a little too aggressive, but here he goes again.
Demo!
Clear the runway! Typical gives him a 2-goal lead.
Cleared out in front. Typical with the touch. And first killer sees Atomic, toodaloo. 2-goal lead with a minute left. FaZe Clan trying to close out this group stage in a dominant fashion.
G2, like a prize fighter that keeps on getting up though. Can they answer the bell one more time? Atomic demolished. Now it's on to Chicago with JNaps, the lone man in support. Atomic way back now as he's respawned in. Inside 45 seconds now. And again intercepted by Typical. His first killer was carrying Atomic down the field. That took him out of the play. Somebody's got to jump forward for G2 and nobody can with a big booming clear out of FaZe.
That's gonna kill so much more time. This might be the last push here of G2. Can't get this one in the back of the net. You might as well call it. JNaps with the effort. Atomic awkward. First kill's gonna take the ball. And that's gonna slip through too. Only 10 seconds left.
Final countdown now. G2's about to run out of time unless they can convert here. And they will not. At long last, for FaZe Clan, maybe we can start to say it. First killer as FaZe Clan goes first in the group.
That was the FaZe Clan that was the #1 seed in North America, showing you exactly why. What a performance. Typical, especially in that last game too. I mean, comes through, puts the numbers in, gets a couple of goals. First killer, being first killer. This is a full, well-rounded roster that is, again, trying to get past that 4th place spot. They want to take this trophy home. And if they keep playing like that, they just might.
With this team playing like this, who is anybody to doubt them? they topped what actually was quite the monstrous group. We saw what G1 did against FaZe. Granted, yes, it was round one FaZe, and you can say what you want about how they start events, similar to Gen G, but when it mattered most, when the chips were down, it was FaZe Clan who comes up with banger after banger after banger. First killer, as good as he was, a lot of attention has to be paid to Sypical, not just on the offensive end, not just in defense, but especially around the midfield line. Sypical was a force to be reckoned with. Mist was exactly what FaZe signed him to be, a staunch defender, and he frustrated G2 to no end, denying them time and time again when it looked like they were finally gonna crack through.
FaZe, I mean, you gotta wonder, they've got the fire here. How hot will they burn? How bright will they shine? It's been quite the showing from this team. We are just witnessing them ascend to a new level.
So, FaZe Clan comes through for crew, G1's out, and Zuby's on stage with a victorious leader.
Appreciate that, Stacks, and big win there for FaZe Clan and First Killer, and everyone seems to be filing out, but the tried and true FaZe Clan fans are sticking around, wanting to hear what you have to say. But I gotta ask, how good does it feel to get that victory over G2, especially after dominating them in the third regional in those grand finals?
It feels good getting the win on LAN. We've lost to them multiple times on LAN before, and it's our first time beating them on LAN, so it's exciting. It's good.
I mean, what was it like when you guys were walking out? You're walking side by side, and you know, okay, whoever wins this is getting first place, getting that bye. What does that mean to you guys to finally achieve that?
It's really important to us to get first seed. We get a better run, and I'm pretty sure we play Gen G, top 8, and I really want to beat them, so I'm excited to play them.
Yeah, it's one of those storylines that's always fun to watch, and you know, they were building this up. There was like a marquee matchup. You guys turned it into a matinee. How did you do that? Was it just words that you were hearing from coach? Was it words from your teammates? Was it things that you were speaking into your teammates' ears?
It was all of us. We were just telling each other what we need to do, and not being scared to say what we thought, and that just gave us the W in the end.
So ultimately, the confidence from your teammates to be able to call out things and also kind of call you off of balls, is that the difference maker in this new FaZe Clan that we're seeing?
Yeah, no one's scared to say anything. Like, we're all good individuals, so it's not like, oh, you think we're better, so like we can't take the ball from you. It's not like that, you know?
I mean, if I was your teammate, I'd probably think that. So it's understandable. You got to get that out of the way. You got to get the comms on point. And what in the world was game one all about? You came out and it just seemed like you were on a different playing field. I mean, it seemed like G2 wasn't even awake yet, and you guys were already out to like, it seemed like it was like 6-0.
I think it made it look that way because we shut them down like pretty easily. I'm not gonna lie. We have their playstyle figured out, and we just came out strong and made them look weak.
So you guys truly do have them downloaded in a sense to where it's like, okay, we know what they're gonna do on offense, we know what they like to do on defense, and at that point it's just like you have to play your own game and make no mistakes so that they can't capitalize?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like that.
Man, that's awesome. I love to hear that. Now, moving forward, we know there's good teams. We know you want to face up against Gen G. We know you want to get to those grand finals. How are you going to make sure that the mental stays on point? Because we know that your mechanics are always going to be there, but it's always that question mark of is the mental going to be there come Sunday?
The mentality is definitely going to be good. We just got to reassure yourselves that we're one of the best teams at this event, if not the best. So as long as we keep that in mind, I think we'll be good.
Well, you heard it here first from First Killer. I appreciate you taking some time, but that's it for day number 2. We're going to throw it back to the desk.